want to talk about how corporations can support a more plant-forward diet. So it's not new. There's a lot of people playing in this space, right? Chefs, startups, other organizations. I want to share with you what Google has found is working best, because that's where I work, and I get to do this every day. So what is a tech company doing in the food space? Google Food is an internal organization that's responsible for all the food and food experiences for our employees, their visitors, and guests in over 56 countries. And that adds up to those numbers, which is 160,000 meals a day, 200 cafes, and 1,000 microkitchens. Those are our coffee pantries, plus 28 food trucks. We really care about food, because food has the power to directly impact our well-being. And as an organization, then, we have a responsibility to our users to prepare foods and make food and choose foods that enable them to make more healthful choices. So we're focused not only on our own employees, but to inspire and enable the world to make food choices, use food experiences to develop more sustainable lifestyles and communities. So we made it a goal to move people towards a more plant-forward diet. And like I said, there's a lot of people working in this space. And we looked at chopped salad company, coffee flour, farm to table. How do we apply those principles to all of our offices globally? London, New York, Sydney, even in Latin America, where meat is such a big part of the local culture. So Google partnered with the Culinary Institute of America and Harvard School of Public Health on the menus of change. And with those principles that support a plant-forward diet, we applied those to our menu concepts. So globally inspired plant-centric dishes, minimally processed foods, and appropriate portions. What we're doing is making vegetables and legumes more desirable. We're leveraging smaller and lesser amounts of meat, sustainable meat. We're not taking away the meat, but we are making the alternative more craveable. So how can you do that? The flip is one way. It's meat as a garnish. So you're taking the traditional balance of animal protein to vegetables and flipping it. Using those principles to also show our users the appropriate portions of protein. We're also flipping burgers on the inside. So blending mushrooms and meat, beef, or chicken together to then introduce more plants into your diet. We're using culinary techniques, adding more umami into vegetables. So imagine a whole roasted head of cauliflower, caramelized and sliced tableside, a salt-crusted beet that you can crack open yourself. This is really making vegetables the center of the plate and the star of the show. Also, with culinary techniques, customization and chef engagement. We're encouraging our users as well as our chefs to really think about vegetables differently. And then our chefs are allowed to really create really cool, seasonally vegetable-centric dishes where they encourage the users then to personalize and customize to meet their needs and to satisfy their tastes. So now we have this beautiful vegetable dish. How are we going to get people to choose it? Working with the Yale School of Management, we explored how to use behavioral sciences to impact people's choices. Behavioral science is simply making the best choice the easiest choice. So using the same science that retailers use to encourage that impulse buying decision and using it opportunistically to impact more positive behavioral change. Like putting these beautiful spa waters right at the front of a cafe, people drink more water, which we can agree is good for humans. And likewise, adding more vegetable and fruit displays front and center, easy access, easy to grab. People eat more vegetables. Plant-forward merchandising, using that as visual cues to, again, encourage more plant-forward eating. And finally, signage and seductive labeling, using signage to tell the story about a dish and to encourage users to try something new. Not one organization, like Diane was talking about, is doing this all on their own. We need to build upon and support more partnerships. With our food service operators, we're co-developing the future of food. We're collaborating with academic partners to support research and demonstrate what we're talking about to users and to the public. And with our commercial brands, co-developing new menu concepts that really change the thinking of how we look at vegetables. So there are so many partners in this space and so much opportunity. So a corporation can forward a more plant-forward diet. We can first look at the plate and think about vegetables differently and make them more craveable. We can use behavioral science to help nudge our users to make a more positive choice. And then we can partner with more people, more organizations to do big stuff that impacts change. So you may think your company can't change, but it can. Because starting is the hardest part. And we all know small steps really do matter. And finding a perfect solution, you don't have to. Just start.